Thank you, Taylor, and welcome to the All-State ACC Softball Championship. Right here in beautiful Charlottesville, day 2, and we've got 2 rivalries on tap tonight. North Carolina taking on Duke. The Tar Heels fresh off a big win over Clemson last night, and the Blue Devils making their ACC Championship debut here in 2026. Already 2 results in the books. The 1 seed, Florida State, battling with Georgia Tech for the 4th time in about 3 weekends. They come out on top in a 2-1 nail-biter. And then Stanford sets up the rematch with Florida State. When they swept them in Palo Alto just a few weeks ago, River Mailer walks it off to help the Cardinal advance. That will kick off the semifinals tomorrow at 1 Eastern between Florida State and Stanford. But the 2 rivalry games tonight, Duke UNC, and then the Commonwealth clash between Virginia Tech and Virginia. Alongside a former National Player of the Year, Jenny Dalton-Hill, I am Chucky Kemp. North Carolina took care of business last night. Their RPI has jumped up. Another big chance tonight against their biggest rival.
Yeah, that win against Clemson helped them move 4 spots in the RPI, giving them probably a better chance to make the postseason with the committee this weekend.
Well, they capitalized on some early miscues from Clemson last night, and it was all about Sierra Manis and just couldn't get the control down.
Yeah, those control problems with bases loaded allowed back-to-back wild pitches, plating 2 runs, put them up 3-0. Then in the 4th, Sanaa Thompson's solo shot off the reliever, Abby Dunning. They got the 4-2 win. Duke, they've got 3 players of their own who have major firepower. Deanna Jennings, Duke's all-time hits leader, sets the table in the leadoff spot with speed and power. Amina Vega, Duke's all-time doubles leader, also leads the ACC in doubles. She hits behind Jennings. Then in the power slot, Tyrena Jones, in her lone season as a Blue Devil, has set the single-season home run and RBI record, both career highs for her.
Now, these 3 are dangerous, and really this Duke lineup just seems to find more and more options as the season goes on. Let's take a look at tonight's What to Watch For, presented by Ally.
For North Carolina, they have youth in the circle that can leave the ball big. They have to keep the ball near the river on both sides. For Duke, their ERAs are up this season. The biggest reason, walks are up by about 25% over all of their pitchers.
Let's take a look at the North Carolina lineup. Sanaa Thompson leads it off, solo shot last night that didn't change the score a whole lot, just made it 4-2 instead of 3-2, but it felt like a momentous occasion for them. And then Emily Leggett in the 3 spot, always dangerous. That'll be an interesting lefty-lefty matchup with Cassidy Curd, who is in the circle for Duke. So how about this? The Blue Devils and the Tar Heels in the postseason for the first time in these programs' histories. Strike 1 from Cassidy Curd.
Going to be important for Cassidy Curd to just focus pitch to pitch here today. She is so good, has been the trusted arm for the Duke Blue Devils throughout her career.
Duke leads the all-time series 16-6. They've won 15 of the last 16, but this is the first ever meeting for these 2 in the postseason. 1-1 count to Sanaa Thompson. A pair of hits last night and scored twice in that win over Clemson. Up and in, and that hit her, looks like on the wrist.
And it looked like it was back elbow, which is that right elbow. When you go to hit, typically you fire your hips, which opens up that backside to the ball, and that's exactly what got exploited on that one. It's a very vulnerable spot. It is her throwing arm. That's one of the reasons this is of major concern. She plays center field for North Carolina, so making sure that that elbow is safe is going to be the key for the trainer.
That is not exactly what we saw last night, but it is very similar to a hit by pitch we saw last night. And just, I know you're sitting up here cringing at how painful that has to be.
More than anything, when you see a ball coming inside, coaches teach you to turn your front shoulder in to protect that back elbow. But with how hard these pitchers throw, the velocity coming out of the circle, you do not have time to be able to make an adjustment and turn back in, especially the way Cassidy Curd has been throwing this year. The most healthy she's been in the last 2 seasons. She was a key component to getting Duke to the Women's College World Series in 2024.
She has been really good down the stretch, too. 2 starts against Clemson, 2 wins, 12 2/3, just 2 earned runs in those starts.
And a lot of velocity. She lives confidently at the top of the zone. That curve to both sides has a little bit of up run as well. She baits hitters into swinging at her rise.
Strike one to Lexi Roberts. Curd also beat Tennessee in a midweek about 3 weeks ago, held them to 3 earned over 5 1/3. North Carolina got to her in game 1 of the series this year in the regular season, put up 4 in 3 2/3, but she bounced back in games 2 and 3. Quick turn, but Roberts is on, and it's a good start for North Carolina.
And that comes down to communication. Cassidy Curd thought that that ball back to her had enough giddy up on it to get the play at second base. But Sanaa Thompson read that ball very well. And with that almost throw to second base, it delayed the throw to first, giving Roberts enough time to get down the line.
They will rule it as a bunt single for Lexi Roberts. Here is Emily Leggett, who would love to get things started with a bang. Takes the first pitch high for ball 1. Leggett was 1 for 3 with a run and an intentional walk last night that loaded the bases. But that is probably the treatment she will get in the postseason.
Well, she is the ACC leader in home runs. She is a dangerous bat. You have to pitch around.
Fouls that onto the roof here at Palmer Park, and it's a 1-1 count.
Not only is Leggett swinging for a ton of power, the most home runs of her career prior to this season coming into it. She only had 6 career home runs, but look at the jump in production in those power numbers this year at North Carolina.
Curd hits the zone at the bottom part for strike 2. Emily Leggett has 4 home runs in the last 7, including in the regular season finale. She has walked in 8 straight, and in 11 of the last 12. She is just always on the bases or rounding the bases. Two inside from Curd.
And I like these last couple of pitches for Curd. They're keeping her right at the knees, trying to find the corners. So rides the count to full, but I'm not upset with the way that Curd has approached this big hitter in the lineup.
2 on, nobody out in the top of the first. Semifinal spot on the line. And that misses low, and the bases are loaded here in the first. 32 wins this year for Megan Smith-Lyon. They started 17-0. They have a program record 98 home runs, 5 players in double figures. I mean, the list goes on for the great things she's done in her 3 seasons as head coach.
And coming into this year, the record was 92 home runs set back in 2015. Those power numbers have taken a huge jump for them. They had just 55 last year, and so that turn in production has helped get them to this spot here in day 2 of the ACC Softball Championship.
They entered the weekend tied for 6th in the nation in home runs. Sanaa Thompson's last night gave them 98 on the year. Hit to the left side, and it is a double play. Tyrena Jones makes the grab and applies the tag.
Well, in that situation, Tyrena Jones just needed to get back to the bag. Over there, it's a hard hit ball down the line, and at third base, you actually need to take your lead a little bit late. Sanaa Thompson is one of those really fast runners for North Carolina and got a little bit anxious on that pitch, taking an additional step, and with that, could not get back.
Did everything she could to get around that tag. We've seen some weird stuff over at third base today, especially in that last game. Tyrena Jones, known very much for her power, but getting it done defensively. That was a big play for Duke early. Ball outside from Curd. 2-0 count here to Michelle Tarpey, who was 1 for 3 and drove in a run last night.
Knowing the way that North Carolina is swinging the bats right now, Duke needs to make sure that they don't sit back on anyone. You've got so many players throughout this lineup that have hit home runs. Tarpey has 7 home runs on the year. has struggled with consistency at the plate this season, but I think that's the reason for this conversation right now with head coach Marissa Young coming out and talking to her pitcher, or her battery actually, as both come out to the circle.
Yeah, there was a conversation there too. It was originally all kind of at Cassidy Curd, and then you saw her address the freshman catcher Gabby Shattuck behind the plate.
Well, Gabby Shattuck is so important to the success of Cassidy Curd out there in the circle. Cassidy Curd has been known to let some pitches really grip and rip, and with that, Shattuck back behind the dish has to stay very athletic.
2-0 count for Tarpey. Curd pops the mitt for strike one.
While Curd is known for that ball up in the zone, we're seeing her very effective sitting right at the knees and doing a good job of finding the corners here early in this ball game.
In the air and foul. It was all about a good start last night for North Carolina. Marissa Young hoping Cassidy Curd can dance out of a first inning jam to avoid that in this game. Into right field and down. Lamar cuts it off, but one run is going to score, and it's first and third. Tarpey delivers again.
We talked about that all day yesterday when North Carolina was playing Clemson. North Carolina loves to get ahead early, and when they do, they are very successful. They are 25-4 when they score first. So here, with 2 outs, great execution by Michelle Tarpey at the plate to take that pitch down and away, going oppo with it, plating a nice run for North Carolina.
35th RBI of the year for Michelle Tarpey. So North Carolina at least gets one in the first after the double play. Now they'd like a little more from Reagan Jennings at the plate. Jennings was the one who got hit on the elbow, like we saw with Sanaa Thompson at the beginning of this game. So it's good to see that she's all right to continue playing today. Stayed in it, but I feel like sometimes that stuff, you never know how it'll work overnight. And she's back in the lineup. 0-2 is fouled off.
You know, I think at the younger ages, a lot of young players love the chants or the cheers that go on, and I remember one that my daughter used to say, it's the latest fashion and Reagan's wearing it, but at the same time, wearing that pitch definitely hurts.
Ball outside to Jennings. You saw Thompson a second ago in the dugout, still kind of rubbing that area on her arm.
There's just not a lot of protection around that part of your elbow, and so hopefully that arm okay to be play center field.
Good battle by Jennings. Cassidy Curd has thrown 23 pitches in this first inning.
You're looking for low pitch counts for Cassidy Curd, knowing that they are going to ride her arm through the postseason. They need her to be efficient in the circle.
This is into left center field. Another run comes across. That was a fantastic at bat for Reagan Jennings.
And making sure that you attack the strike zone and hit the ball where it's pitched. That seems to be what North Carolina is doing right now, executing so well on hunting the zone that Cassidy Curd is throwing. And as she steps in this situation, another oppo hit for North Carolina to drive in an additional run.
First pitch swinging and fouled on top of the dugout for Raina Blackwell, the North Carolina catcher, who was 0 for 2 last night with a sacrifice bunt. Her average around the March 7th mark this season was 208. She got it all the way up to 306 in the middle of April. 27 of her 37 hits this year have come since the middle of March. A lot of her home runs in the same way. She has been a second half of the season player so far.
And when you play behind the plate, that's actually where your priority lies, is making sure that you're a good receiver, knowing that the pitching staff needs to have confidence in their catcher back behind the dish. But with Blackwell coming on hot later in the season, she's racked up double-digit home runs.
That's why these catchers we're seeing across the country with the offensive numbers they're putting up is so impressive.
There is no one more prepared for what the strike zone is than that position.
1-2, tap to the right side. There's Vega, and the first is over. North Carolina, though, on the board early. A couple runs for the Tar Heels.
Softball Championship is brought to you by Allstate. You're in good hands.
ACC Championship Trophy touring the campus here at Virginia. North Carolina up 2-0 on Duke, going to the bottom of the first. It's not something Duke will worry about too much. This is a team we've seen so many times this year come from behind and not bat an eye at big deficits. And this is why. Jennings, Vega, Oakland lead things off. Jessica Oakland's on a 13-game hit streak. Her second half of the season has been all world.
Definitely has, and then they set them up. Those three set up Tyrena Jones, the home run leader for Duke.
Deanna Jennings, a senior from Houston, Texas, takes the first pitch outside for ball one. 24 multi-hit games this year, and enters the ACC Championship on a 5-game hit streak. 1-1 count against Kendall Frost, who goes back-to-back nights starting. She was good last night, 3 innings, 5 hits, couple runs, only one of them was earned, and why not give her the ball again?
Well, it's so important for her to come out and set the tone early like she did in that game yesterday. Gave up just 1 earned run in that outing, 3 strikeouts, only 1 free pass. This year, Kendall Frost has the most innings pitched on this staff. You're going to see her confident in the curveball. She lives belt and below with the screw, curve, and drop curve. Rise is typically out of the zone, but she will flash it and will throw that changeup in any count.
3-1 count to start off Jennings. I would say, Jenny, based on the opponent and what was at stake for North Carolina last night, that was their best pitching performance of the year.
Yeah, those two combined, both Frost and Livingood coming up with a huge performance in the circle.
Kind of off the end of the bat, but that'll work for the speedy Deanna Jennings. Duke has their leadoff on in the bottom of the first. There's Marissa Young, 9 years, the one and only head coach in the Duke softball program's history. They are breaking records this year individually and as a team. 96 home runs is a program record. And they're just rolling right now, Jenny. They really are.
No, they definitely are. The unique piece about Marissa Young is she actually used to wear the blue worn on the other side of the field earlier in her career. She was an assistant coach at North Carolina under Donna Papa before being named Duke's first head coach 9 seasons ago. Well, I actually, it happened before 9 seasons because she was hired back in 2015. But prior to coming, she was the pitching coach at North Carolina, just down the road. She said one of the cool things about being named the Duke head coach was that she didn't have to move. She could just change her gear and start a new program.
1-2. Not many can make that transition. It's worked out pretty well for Marissa Young and the Blue Devil faithful, too, who have watched this program grow into what really is a national power. They've had some great ones come and go, and she just keeps them coming. Outside ball, too.
Well, it is a destination school for so many young softball players. Both of these programs have tremendous academics. However, when Duke started their softball program, it sent a ripple effect through the travel ball world as everyone wanted to be able to start their freshman year at Duke.
Vega fights that off onto the concourse. And speaking of some of those tremendous players, Amina Vega is right up there. 4-time first-team All-Conference, first-team All-American, and ACC Defensive Player of the Year a couple of years ago. Ooh, up and in.
It's not a bad spot. It does get oohs and ahs from the crowd, but you definitely don't want to leave the ball inside belt high. So having a little bit more zip on that pitch up and in is important. Luckily, Vega able to get out of the way.
Most impressive thing about Amina Vega for you?
Consistency, both defensively and offensively.
She walks first and second. This is just what Duke does, Jenny. We've seen them a lot over the last month of this season. We've seen them down to Stanford. We've seen them down against Clemson. They just don't bat an eye.
Well, and when you have this kind of top of the lineup, you've got seniority in the 1, 2, 3, and 4 spots in the lineup. And what does seniority bring? It brings mature at-bats that don't panic when counts get tight. So in this situation, advantage Duke, as the North Carolina defense now has to play perfect to keep Duke off the board.
North Carolina wanted to talk things over. Maddie Holub with a little visit for Kendall Frost, who is in a tough spot here against this very dangerous offense. I mentioned Jessica Oakland having an incredible back half of the season as you look at the top 3 hitters for Duke. 409 average. The rest of the lineup's pretty good too. But those 3, and really you could extend that a couple more to the top 5, are just absolutely elite.
No, they all rake. And then you've got speed and savvy in Jennings and Vega, who are on the base pass right now. So with the kind of power that Oakland and Jones and Lamar bring, who are the next 3 hitters, it's difficult to keep them off the scoreboard.
Popped up. This is playable for Leggett. 1 out.
Now that is a best case scenario against Jess Oakland at the plate. Getting that ball up and in on the hands, definitely advantage to Kendall Frost out there in the circle to have confidence to go work that glove, that arm side run up and in against these big hitters.
Not 1 rivalry, but 2 tonight. Virginia Tech, Virginia coming up next. Hokies are here. They're ready to go. They said, move this thing along. Come on now.
I think that's what's so cool about the ACC. You build those rivalries that happen in state, and then this time of year, you roll the dice sometimes. You get those in-state matchups in the postseason.
1-0 to Tyrena Jones. That's the power she has, and that is right at our ACC crew down the left field line.
I think we're going to need to give them some gloves because the ball continues to find its way into our studio down the left field line.
Another one sliced away, foul.
And with Frost throwing on the corners, these hitters have to make sure that they are protecting the plate. So a ball in on the hands of Jones has the chance to be a foul ball hard down the line, but she is a good hitter that covers the plate well to be able to go oppo, but also turn on a pitch inside.
Can Frost go back-to-back with really big outs after the pop-up of Oakland? A 1-2. Slow roller to the shortstop and out at first by about a half step.
And the reason that was so close is because Jones hit that ball off the end of the bat. It was an outside pitch that she was ahead on, and with that, it was a slow developing play to the shortstop, Horton, who had to come away with a really strong throw to get the out.
Here is the sophomore Layla Lamar. Transfer from Florida, just 1 year there under Tim Walton. Didn't play a ton, just 16 games last year. And pops this up. North Carolina is going to get out of the jam. Jennings makes the catch, and they hold Duke scoreless in the first. Tar Heels up 2.
Devils claw and fight to bring home that trophy. That is pounded, but that's right up the middle. Davidson comes around to tie the game.
Duke, this is a big inning for them. Big player, big hit, big moment.
Off Curd's glove, can she recover a time? Yes! It's Duke, the ACC Tournament champion.
Can Duke do it again? That was in 2024, their lone ACC Tournament championship, but they've had success in the postseason, Jenny. They also went on to the Women's College World Series that year.
They did, and it was because of the Cassidy Curd, Jayla Wright duo. Jayla Wright, now an assistant coach on staff for Duke, back in the dugout, just not able to wear the uniform.
She will be wearing a uniform this summer with the Carolina Blaze, so she'll get to play back in the Smith Family Stadium in Durham. And there's Jayla, never too far from Marissa Young's side when Duke is in the field. Excellent career there, almost 450 career strikeouts.
On those two pitchers, Cassidy Curd and Jayla Wright, them combining were dynamic because Curd up in the zone, Jayla Wright hard drop ball. So to have those two to play off of one another, it was very difficult for hitters to make the adjustment in game when they were both on staff.
0-2 from Curd, just misses. This is 8-9-1 here for North Carolina. Kiana Pierce leads things off, grad student from Sacramento, California. Swings through it. Strikeout number 1 for Curd.
And I would be the same kind of swinger as Kiana Pierce when if I was to face Cassidy Curd in the circle. She loves to have that sharp break on the rise ball, and this season we've seen her do a really good job of stay in better control of her movement up in the zone.
Bunt attempt is missed by Sydney Horton, the shortstop. Curd trying to put together a much more efficient second inning here. Horton hitting .260 on the year, just 50 at bats, and bunts that foul as well to fall behind 0-2.
Well, and technically, that's actually not going to be counted as a bunt per se because her barrel is moving through the zone. And so that's the kind of approach she can have with 2 strikes to still try to get that same result as a soft hit inside the third baseman who is crashing hard.
Here is the 0-2. Takes just outside.
That's a great spot by Cassidy Curd. You can see the smile coming back to the circle, talking to her middle infielders. She knows that that ball was not supposed to be in a hittable spot, but it was a really nice spot in an 0-2 count.
That one is there. Back-to-back strikeouts for Curd.
Curd has done such a good job this year, coming in prepared, knowing that the season can be long. She's dealt with some back injuries in previous seasons, but the way that she has come in conditioned this year, her outings in the circle have been very efficient, and she's settled in nicely here in the second inning.
Bounces in the first pitch. Back to the top of the order for Sanaa Thompson.
Well, Sanaa Thompson loves to pull the ball, and because of that, you're going to see a defensive shift put on for her as the second baseman Vega now playing on the other side, on the shortstop side of second.
Fouled straight up and back for strike 1. Sanaa hit by that pitch to lead off the game. So she's reached 3 times now in the first 2 games of the ACC Championship. 2-1. What were did you get amped up to play ASU back in the day?
No, my rival back in the day was UCLA.
There you go, okay. That's a little slight, isn't it? A little slight.
Sorry.
Swing and a miss by Thompson.
Yeah.
I lobbed that one up for you on the Sun Devils. I'm sorry. Sorry, Arizona State.
Yeah. Arizona State, after I left, did win a national championship, but at the time, our biggest foe was UCLA.
Into left field, carrying back toward the track and caught by Matthews. Efficient second inning, couple strikeouts and a flyout for Cassidy Curd. Duke coming up next.
Teams that want to get to Oklahoma City.
Everyone in the country wants to hear their name be called.
I feel like it's just the beginning of a new season.
I don't know about you, but we're counting down the hours to Selection Sunday, 7 Eastern on ESPN2. I was about to say it's on Sunday, but I just said Selection Sunday, so that'll do it. Top 16 in the RPI as it stands. Duke in Florida State. Great spot for them. And really, I think there's a case to be made for if one of those two wins the ACC championship to get into that top 8. The other thing to note is Stanford in the 17th spot. The team ahead of them is Texas A&M, who lost in the SEC tournament.
You're always looking to see where is that little glimmer of hope to be able to break into the top 16. Hosting at home is such an advantage. You get to sleep in your own bed. You don't have to fly potentially across the country and have your time zones interrupted. So playing at home, not just because of the fans that will support you, but also the convenience of being able to stay home.
Well, the other teams there toward the bottom at 15 was Georgia. They play Oklahoma later. And so a chance that if the Bulldogs can't pull off an upset, they wouldn't be playing tomorrow or the next day for the committee to see.
They came away with a 7-3 win over LSU yesterday. And it's just about jockeying for position this time of year. You've put together a whole season and resume of how you've been playing, but the committee is looking at how you're finishing. A lot of these teams have really hot starts, but then they cool off in conference play. So what are you doing? Show me what you've done lately.
KK Mathis through the 5-6 hole, and for the second straight inning, Duke has their leadoff aboard. Well, it's not just hosting that's on the line. It's also just getting in. North Carolina at 44. You mentioned, Jenny, they went from 48 to 44 with just the win yesterday. Imagine what this one could do for them.
And that's what you're looking for this time of the season, finding ways to creep up in the RPI, because that RPI number is one of the statistics that the committee is looking at. 46 is the highest number RPI that I can remember has gotten in as an at-large team. So that is a very important number to stay away from. Make sure that you get as close to 30 as possible, if not 40, to be able to show the committee that you've put together a whole body of work that gives you the ability to go to the postseason.
One positive for North Carolina at 44. Two teams above them are not eligible. Missouri and Auburn finished with records below 500, so you can almost say they're 42 right now.
Definitely, and that's so important because the SEC beats up on each other all season long, and so it really affects those season numbers, those records, and if they stay below 500, they are not eligible to be able to be selected.
Frost just missing on the outside corner to Shattuck. Gabby Shattuck has really come along. Over half of her hits have come in the last month. 6 multi-hit games over that span and 5 home runs. 1-2, that is off the glove of Frost, and it's gonna allow Shattuck to reach. Will likely go down as an infield single.
And I appreciate a pitcher that can field her position, but in that situation, I think Horton was going to get to that ball back up the middle because she was shaded that direction. With that deflection, Duke enough time to get everybody safely around the bases.
This is the scary part for the Blue Devils. It's not just those top 5 in the order who we saw in the first inning and were unable to score. It's this entire lineup that can create problems. That is strike one on the inside corner to a true freshman, Jayla Stafford. Jayla hitting .366 over her last 11 games played. And .303 on the season. 1-1.
Even sitting in the 8th spot for Duke, Stafford has the lowest number of home runs in the starting 9. 2 home runs on the year this year. Every player in the starting lineup has at least 2 long balls this season.
Ground ball, chance for 2. Steps on the bag, the throw is low, and Leggett can't pick it out. But it is an important out for North Carolina.
To be able to get the ball, to get the out on the lead base is really important, especially knowing that KK Mathis has some pretty good wheels. So getting that out there, really good job. Leggett strides a little bit early, can't get the pick out of the dirt to secure the double play. communication coming over from Shelby Barbie, talking to Leggett, they're both saying it's their fault. But at the same time, both of those things can be shored up to be able to secure the out next time.
So Stafford on first and a pinch runner, London Collins on second for Duke. Adeline Matthews, the 9 spot at the plate. Strike one to Matthews, freshman from Tallahassee, Florida. Just 2 hits in the last 5 games, but had a 4-game hit streak before that. And takes strike 2.
And taking a little some of that velo off the pitch so far to Stafford, to Matthews, not throwing her hardest velocity. And by disrupting that timing, makes it difficult for Matthews to pull the trigger.
Off the end of the bat, foul back to stay alive. See the sleeves on a lot of these players. It is a cold day here in Charlottesville, about 59 degrees. And I think the feels like is a decent bit lower than that. I'm seeing stocking hats even in the crowd, if that gives you an idea. Another foul ball by Matthews.
And our ACC crew down the line has been out in the elements from early this morning. They're bundled up in blankets down there on the left field line. It's not that the air feels cold, it's that the wind hasn't really stopped. So that constant breeze keeping everybody chilly. Sorry, we're calling you out, Alex, Brittany, Taylor.
They've really got to keep their head on the swivel. Like, you can't be doing anything embarrassing down there. We'll show you at any time.
Well, and the game is on monitors in front of them, but they have to be aware because foul balls continue to pepper them down the line.
Two-two count for Frost. Hard hit ball, and it bounces off the third baseman, Barbie. Duke's going to get on the board. That was smoked by Matthews, and Barbie was kind of wincing in pain after that.
I mean, Matthews got all of that one. She hit a rocket right at Barbie at third base. Look how far it ricocheted off of the third baseman. The trainer is now going to go out and take a look at Barbie as she continues to be doubled over.
That is 2 balls now, one that was tipped by the pitcher's glove, and then that one off Barbie, who deflected right around the shortstop Horton into the outfield.
Well, your job is to make sure you get the glove in front of it, but it took an awkward hop at the last second, so she wore it right off of her throwing hand that is already taped up. With a pinch runner in, you know you've got extra speed on the base pass to be able to get that first run in.
Shelby Barbie, a grad student from Oakboro, North Carolina. Spent the first 3 years of her career playing on this field here in Charlottesville.
Give her an opportunity to throw a couple of balls, make sure that that hand is okay. It's going to be tender for sure.
You have to think the added motivation of just being a competitive, high-level athlete is even more so in this spot when you just don't know if this is it.
And that's exactly the point, Chucky, to know that if you don't win this game, this could be it. What is the committee going to do? They've left the door open for both getting left out or being brought in. And so this game here is so important to be able to find a way to win it and get that RPI pushed into a direction where the committee can't ignore you.
1 out, first and third, top of the Duke order. Jennings singled to lead off the bottom of the first. Takes strike one, runner goes. I don't know that I've seen that one before. They threw it to the second baseman to try and tempt Stafford.
And that's a call made before the pitch even happens. So in that situation, knowing the advancement happened quickly, that throw doesn't look like anything that would draw a runner off of third base.
One. Big swing from Jennings.
When Jennings has leaned into her swing mechanics the last couple of years, she had big home runs at the Super Regional in Missouri to help them get to the Women's College World Series.
An All-American, a 3-time All-ACC nominee. Takes the 1-2 just outside. Frost thought it might have been there.
I think it's important to recognize where the defense is playing Jennings. They are shallow on the infield with 2 runners in scoring position. They are challenging Jennings to get this ball out of the infield.
Got her. That is a beautiful pitch from Kendall Frost.
Lots of adjectives can be used on that one. Beautiful and nasty both mean the same things in that situation because she pulled the string. When she's been throwing with good velocity, Jennings is known for those multiple toe taps on her lead leg and was way out in front.
Not out of it yet. Amina Vega with 2 in scoring position. Takes ball 1 outside.
They pitched around Vega in her last at bat. Drew the walk after Deanna Jennings started the game with a hit to center. Just a mature hitter at the plate. Does not swing outside the zone very often.
44 pitches so far for Kendall Frost in this one. And one of the country's most dangerous hitters at the plate. Amina Vega has a hit in 22 of the last 23 games, and now ahead 3-0.
I think the reason you see them so wary to throw to Vega is because in the regular season, these two teams squared up for 3 games. Amina Vega went 7 for 10. 3 of them were doubles, 3 of them were home runs.
And they pretty much pitch around Vega to get to Jessica Oakland, and this is a dangerous bat. 13 home runs, 60 RBIs walking into the box with the bases juiced.
But she did not hit a home run in their regular season series, held to just 1 double, went 4 for 10 in that series. So they know that Kendall Frost can attack her correctly, but she needs to make sure she does not miss her spot against a very dangerous bat.
Oakland, a redshirt junior from San Jose. Takes strike 1.
Frost is doing a really good job of finding the bottom of the zone and getting that strike call. You never want to elevate a pitch to get a strike call against a big bat like Oakland.
Oakland redshirted last year in her first year at Duke after transferring from Minnesota. She was a 2-year starter at shortstop for the Gophers. Big Ten Player of the Year in 2024, as well as a second-team All-American. 1-1. Oakland ahead 2-1.
I appreciate that they are trying to dance around Oakland. However, with bases loaded, they need to give more competitive pitches to try to yield that swing and miss from the circle.
Oakland into left center field. 2 score, and this is going to clear the bases. A double for Jessica Oakland.
She had a double in her regular season series and comes away with another double in a critical moment. Bases juiced. This is the time when you have to be tuned into the zone and not swing outside. They were afraid to give her anything hittable, but then left one right above the knees down the middle of the plate. Sanaa Thompson, recognizing there was no chance to get an out at the plate, throws it right to second base, but it's a stand-up double for Oakland.
63 RBIs on the season for Oakland. That goes off the glove of Horton, and they will hold the runner who has to crawl back to third base. Oakland slipped rounding the base.
And there was rain earlier today. We had a little bit of a delay in one of our games here this morning, and with that, the ground can hold on to some moisture. So with the ball coming in, Taylor White, the third base coach, held up the runner. She slipped and then had to crawl to get back. Watch the turn, just lost her footing there in the grass. Luckily, her 2-year-old instincts kicked in and was able to crawl it back quick.
Now Layla Lamar to the plate with first and third and 2 outs. Takes strike 1.
If there is a player in a more difficult position than Layla Lamar in the country, I'd like to know who it is. She actually has to play for her mom, who is the head coach of the Duke Blue Devils.
Her sister Jolena is out west playing for the Bruins of UCLA. They were all together in Clearwater, Florida at the beginning of this season when UCLA and Duke were both down there. They didn't play against each other. But Layla and Marissa were watching Jolena in one of her games after Duke finished on a field next door.
It's pretty cool because Dad, James Lamar, was able to go out and attend that, and knowing the kind of struggle that their family has had with James' health conditions over the last couple of seasons, pretty cool to be able to have everybody back near the softball field.
Layla chops it to the right side. North Carolina will strand a couple, but Jessica Oakland comes through big. A 3 RBI double. Duke leads.
Started off with North Carolina plating 2 in the first inning off the bats of Tarpey and Jennings. Then Duke responded with some sharp hit ground balls. Adeline Matthews drove one in, and then Jessica Oakland, big 3 RBI doubled. That inning, 4 runs put on the board for Duke, and they've got the 2-run advantage.
Aggressive on the base paths, 3 for 9 already with runners in scoring position. Plenty of opportunities in these first 2 innings, and Duke saw all 9 batters come to the plate in that inning. Oakland's double, that was a Duke team record with their 95th of the season. This is a team that has set some offensive records in a couple categories, and then individual record setters in Deanna Jennings and Amina Vega, who are kind of competing with each other at the top of the leaderboard. Now it's time for North Carolina to try to respond. Lexi Roberts, Emily Leggett, and Shelby Barbie coming up in this 3rd inning. Good spot by Curd for strike 2.
Curd has continued to develop those pitches down in the zone throughout her career, and this season I've been really impressed with the way that she's developed so much control to dance around the zone and not be as wild as we've seen in the past. And her head coach, Marissa Young, called it effectively wild, and simply because the spin that Curd was able to throw with and the velocity that she was dealing out of the circle was producing some spins and some jumps that were hard to handle back behind the plate.
Back to Curd, spins, and that is going to allow Roberts to reach. She might have been there regardless of where that throw was.
But Curd had to be sped up in that situation, knowing that there was speed down the line. So they were playing in that shift again. And with the ball going back up the middle, Curd had to field it herself.
Leadoff hitters in the innings getting it done for both teams tonight. 4 for 5 on reaching base. This is lifted to deep center. Jennings is there and fighting a little bit of a breeze, but makes the catch. There were some gasps there when Leggett got a piece of that. Here's this weekend's featured baseball game on ACC Network and the ESPN app. It's number 14, Florida State and Clemson, the second game of their 3-game series at Doug Kingsmore Stadium. That's Saturday at 6 Eastern.
Florida State baseball sitting 4th in the ACC. A little bit different than Florida State softball that came away with the regular season championship.
Another one in the air. Shallow left field, and Jennings says, hey, I'm the center fielder. I'll take care of this.
Yep, center field has priority, and more than anything, you just want somebody to take control. That could have definitely been the shortstop's ball, the left fielder's ball, but when you've got Jennings coming in with that kind of authority, the senior calls everybody off and reins in the out.
After the leadoff single, 2 straight retired for Curd, and gets strike 1 here on the foul tip by Michelle Tarpey.
Tarpey was the bat that hit in the first RBI of the game. Came to the plate in a situation with runners in scoring position and executed perfectly with a line drive out to right field.
Bounced in, allowing for Lexi Roberts to take second.
And there's where we talk about that control. As a catcher back behind the plate, when you're catching for Curd, you have to be able to keep the ball in front of you. Gabby Shattuck, freshman this season, taking control of the senior out in the circle.
Tarpey got a hold of it out into center, and it bounces off Jennings trying to cut it off, and North Carolina has their response.
Great at bat so far by Michelle Tarpey. Last at bat, they exploited the outside part of the plate. She hit a rocket out to right. This time trying to go inside on Tarpey. Frozen rope so hard out to Jennings. It was hard for her to stop. Ricocheted off of her. No advantage taken on the base pass, but a run does score.
Tarpey's average is a little down this year, but some great run production. some more pop as well, and she set career highs in other places. She traded in the NC State red for the Carolina blue to finish up her career. So when you see the hits coming in bunches, it's not really a surprise. She hasn't hit that high average this year, but she certainly can.
She's got pop, she's got power, 7 home runs on the year, but right now hitting those line drives to score runs.
This is into left center field. Jennings laying out to make the catch. And that saved a run.
Busy inning in the outfield for Deanna Jennings. She gets all 3 outs in the inning. A run does come around to score, but look at the way Jennings covers so much ground. What an asset to her pitcher. Cassidy Kurd definitely benefits from the wheels out there in her outfielders. Great coverage, great out, and Duke with a 1-run lead.
First time the freshman for Florida State advances them into the semifinals tomorrow. And who's going to meet them? River Mailer and Stanford. She had the walk-off winner for the Cardinals, setting up a rematch of one of the more intriguing series we saw in ACC play this year. So we look at our All-State ACC Championship bracket.
Talking to Lonnie Alameda about that series in the regular season. Florida State traveled to Stanford. She says the travel was difficult. They were at a difficult part of their season, but it created some really good conversations that they're finding the benefits showing up here at the end of the year as we see a new pitcher in the circle for North Carolina. Jill Livingood coming in to relieve Frost in the circle. It's the same exact combination we saw in their game yesterday against Clemson.
First pitch hit into left center field. Sanaa Thompson over to make the catch. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Livingood. Well, Jenny, when you're as good as she was last night in relief, 4 innings, 1 hit, no runs, I'd go back to her too.
Definitely. 1 strikeout, 3 walks. It's the free passes that need to make sure they stay controlled. She's going to throw in the mid-60s, lives by her rise, curve, and screwball mix. No drop ball, no changeup. So it's all about hitting spots up in the zone.
Shattuck swinging at the first pitch to foul it back for strike 1. Duke catcher already with a base hit and a run scored in the game. Hard hit, and that is probably going to go down as another base hit for Shattuck, who continues to just rake as this season goes on.
Finding ways to get comfortable in the box, and that third base slot is definitely the hot corner today. Off these Duke bats, they are getting all of it. Shattuck, another hard hit. Last time hit it right back at the pitcher. This time down the third base line. Nice little AB.
Jenny, these Duke seniors might be a long way from hanging it up based on what this team looks like and how far they could go, but I do think when you look at what Duke has moving forward, they're going to lose a lot of big pieces. So the question is, who steps up into these big spots next year? And you see somebody like Gabby Shattuck swinging the bat like she is, she might be the next one in line.
And she's been able to learn from some really good mentors ahead of her. When you look at the way that Deanna Jennings and Amina Vega have played their entire careers at Duke, this year they've also got some really good transfers that have come in to fill the holes left by graduation a season ago.
Popped up and playable. Leggett calling it, and so was Jennings, but Leggett makes the catch.
Yeah, communication so important. Typically in that situation, that is a second baseman's ball, but with the ball up in the air and the first baseman camped under it, it all comes down to who can be the loudest to make sure that the other defender stays out of the way. You can see both of them calling it at the exact same time, and because of that, it makes it hard for you to hear someone else in the background calling the ball.
Looks like a rebound chance to me, Jenny. And Emily Leggett's got the advantage. She got a 4-inch advantage over there height-wise. So all it is, she boxed her out and made a play.
I'm going to need her to start pushing those hips back a little bit then to get Jennings out of the way.
Adeline Matthews already came through once in this game. Last inning, an RBI single and a great at bat. One, fouls it out of play. Despite some chillier weather today, another great crowd at Palmer Park, and we expect a very rowdy group tonight for the Commonwealth clash between Virginia and Virginia Tech. Already seeing both of those fan bases well represented in the stands watching this one.
No, I think they're on their phones watching us, Chucky. Isn't that what we just saw?
Sure, Jenny.
Catching up on scores all around the country as everybody heads to Selection Sunday.
I knew you were popular around here.
Right.
Living Good looking for a scoreless third inning in her first inning of work. Came in one sooner than she did last night. That is a great pitch from Living Good. Freezes Matthews, and the freshman is fired up. Picking up right where she left off, and we'll talk to Megan Smith-Lyon next. Spot in the semifinals up for grabs here in Charlottesville between Duke and North Carolina as we go to the 4th inning, joined by North Carolina head coach Megan Smith-Lyon. Coach, same pitching combinations as yesterday, and why not? Especially with your freshman Jill Livingood. It's not just the production, but the energy she brings to this team.
Yeah, she's a fighter, and we feed off of her energy. I mean, she competes, and you love having that in the circle in the postseason.
Well, and with the way that you've gotten off to some really hot starts here in the ACC Championship, what do you need to do to continue that stretch of offensive power?
Well, we still need to go for our pitches, and we need to be confident when we get in the box. I mean, obviously, Curd is a talented pitcher, Duke's a talented team, but we're good hitters, and we need to believe that when we step in the box, and we need to be locked in on our pitches.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you. Go Heels.
She's exactly right. They know what's coming out of the circle. These two teams faced off in the regular season. North Carolina took one of the games of that series, but Duke won the series. And so in that, right now, it's a win or go home situation from the tournament. A win for North Carolina in this one gives the committee something else to look for and an RPI boost. That's what's on the line for them.
The other part of this, too, is that Cassidy Curd's really the only Duke pitcher that has experience in this moment on this team. Mallory Wheeler came in from Louisiana, Jaquez came in from Incarnate Word, and Ava Bradshaw redshirted last year. 2-0 count to start off the inning as Shattuck wants to talk to Curd. It is Raina Blackwell, the North Carolina catcher, leading things off. We've seen a lot of communication between Curd and Shattuck in this game.
Well, and what you're seeing is a mentoring process with a freshman behind the plate. Curd needs to know what communication is necessary to make Shattuck the best receiver for her back behind the plate. And you can see in a lot of the timeouts that are called this season, Curd takes control of the conversation.
Bounces back after falling behind 2-0 with strike one. Three innings, 5 hits off Curd, and 3 earned runs. Little half swing, and this just might do it. Vega, quick throw, though. The call at first is safe.
And that is just a little bit of a half swing. That was an excuse me swing back up the middle. Curd thought she was going to be able to backhand it and pick it. It's a great attempt by Vega. She has to go up the middle, get her momentum behind that throw, knowing the speed down the line. And look at the stretch by Stafford over there at first base.
Waiting for the announcement of a challenge here from Marissa Young. She came out quick out of the dugout. We got one look at it so far. It looked bang, bang over at first.
I think it's all about figuring out if the ball enters the web and is secured in the web before the foot hits the bag.
Yeah, I got you, Don.
I think in those looks, it looks as though the foot is on the bag before the ball is secured.
The play at first base stands. Safe.
So now North Carolina 3 for 4 with their leadoff hitters in the innings to this point in the game. Big spot here in the 4th to try and even the run count.
And I think this is close enough. It's one of those situations, whatever was called on the field was probably going to stand. And with it being that close, the call on the field was safe, and that call is upheld.
Kiana Pierce now at the plate. A lefty showing bunt. Corners in, popped up, and right out in front. Job done.
It's always a scary moment when you see the ball go up off of the barrel when a player is trying to sacrifice bunt, but it gets the job done.
The Who's are here.
Who?
6 versus 3. Virginia Tech coming up next right here on the ACC Network. That is inside, but fouled straight back by Reese Outlaw, who is pinch hitting for North Carolina. Sahara Wilson is out on the base paths at second. Ball one upstairs. It's been Outlaw as one of their primary options off the bench this year. 10 hits so far, couple doubles, couple home runs. Fouls that straight back to fall behind 1-2.
Such an asset to be able to have that kind of bat to come off the bench, middle of the game with that kind of production. Just hitting above 200. However, those 2 home runs and the power that she's able to provide at the plate is really important to be able to be ready to go when her number's called.
That is kept in front by Shattuck, but it was a great jump by the pinch runner, Sahara Wilson.
Knowing that speed is your asset and that is your role on a ball club, you have to be ready to advance. Anytime you see a catcher's knees go to the ground or a bobble happening at the plate, great jump, great advancement, now 60 feet away for North Carolina from another run.
Swing and a miss. Big pitch from Curd for the second out.
And it was a different batter in this slot. Kiana Pierce went down with a rise ball, swing up, strikeout last time. They make a change at the plate. Reese Outlaw goes down the exact same way.
Back to the top of the order, Sanaa Thompson. And Marissa Young wants to talk things over with her pitcher. They also want to chat with the defense with a runner on third and 2 away. Sanaa Thompson has to be licking her chops here. She can swing it, has had an outstanding season. We saw her leave the yard yesterday.
It was a solo shot in the 4th inning, big swing. And Sanaa Thompson's approach is not necessarily a huge load. Her job is to get on time and let the barrel do the work. And knowing that Cassidy Curd throws with a ton of velocity, you don't have to swing big, you just have to meet it at the right spot out in front.
Sanaa Thompson is just an all-around athlete. She broke her high school's record in Dallas, Georgia in the discus and the 300-meter hurdles as a senior. Takes ball one outside. Wilson stays put over at third.
My guess is it is hard to be a thrower and a sprinter on a track team setting both of those records. That's typically a very different skill set.
And a hurdler too, not just the sprint, but the hurdle. That's
a unique combination for an athlete, but it shows you the all-around talent that Sanaa Thompson really is.
2-0.
And they're staying completely away from her. This is an intentional walk without a catcher standing up. It is all walk, knowing that she's got so much power at the plate.
They will get to Lexi Roberts, who is 2 for 2 in the game, but one was a bunt single, the other was an infield single back to Curd. But if you're gonna do this, you really gotta get to Lexi Roberts because Emily Leggett is the next one up. Duke is going to make a change at catcher, it appears. So Shattuck comes off here in the middle of this inning for Kyrie Rodriguez. Hopefully everything's okay with Gabby Shattuck. We didn't see anything happen. We know there's been a lot of communication ongoing between her and Curd. This is a big bat, though, in the lineup for them.
And as the starter, she is able to come back in And so she doesn't necessarily leave the batting lineup unless they leave Rodriguez in that spot when Shattuck gets back up.
Kyrie Rodriguez, great defensive catcher. Redshirt junior from West Palm Beach, Florida. She's used as a sub in her last 4 appearances, and the same goes here. That gave Lexi Roberts something to think about as she awaited this catching change for Duke. 1st and 3rd for Roberts, who is 2 for 2. Couple singles on the infield. Big spot in this game here in the top of the 4th. Slapped foul. Takes, and that'll be ball 1.
Originally in this at bat, they were playing Lexi Roberts with 3 infielders on the left side of the infield. But Amina Vega now moved back over to her traditional slot, and they'll just simply crowd Roberts at the plate.
Thompson runs. The throw is into center field. And now Sanat Thompson trying to get to 3rd. She is out on the play. Thompson wants to challenge, but regardless of that, North Carolina has tied this game.
When you bring in a new catcher, it requires over communication on what plays are meaning, because you are bringing someone in who is coming off the plate. So in that one, it looked as though Rodriguez was throwing to Vega at second base, but there was no covering.
At 3rd base.
And I think that throw or that tag might have been applied a little bit high, giving way to the hand to get into the bag before the tag was applied.
That right hand kind of snuck around, maybe?
Yeah, I think it's the right hand you need to be aware of. The left hand that has the sliding mitt on it is actually a later arrival to the bag, and I think that right hand may have gotten into the bag. So watch the right hand on the outside part. I think that hand got in before the tag was applied up on the chest of Thompson.
Yeah, that is a fantastic look from our crew.
The play at 3rd base has been changed. Safe.
And Sanat Thompson knew it.
And because they were successful in that challenge, they retained the challenge. Sanat Thompson dancing over there on 3rd base, trying to fire up her dugout.
Thompson 60 feet from home, and North Carolina has already tied it. Marissa Young came out to get some clarification from our home plate umpire, Robbie Guest.
How grateful are we for video replay review? It changes the game to be able to go back and get the play right.
2-2. That is low ball 3, and they're sitting right next door. Don Brown is our review official for this game. They've also been efficient with them in this tournament so far.
So grateful for their humility and being willing to change those calls if they're not quite right on the field.
Roberts had the right height on that and the right touch, but it was a little bit late. Can the defensive miscue fuel North Carolina to take the lead in this inning? Another 3-2 from Curd.
That up ball spin is so important to Curd. If she continues to throw that with tight spin, getting that little bit of wiggle at the top of the zone makes it really hard to stay on top of. And that's why she gets that swing and miss.
Ground ball up the middle. Roberts with a big RBI.
Well, and in this situation, how imperative is that run? Because not only does that push North Carolina ahead of Duke, but it's showing that these North Carolina swingers are not trying to do too much. This is a slapper just punching the ball right back up the middle. With the infield shallow, it takes away lateral movement, and with that, another run across for North Carolina.
Duke took 2 of 3 in the regular season, but that Game 2 win for North Carolina was their first win over the Blue Devils since 2019. They came from behind 4-0 in that game. They were down 4-2 in this game and now lead 5-4. Emily Leggett, 1 for 4 in 2 games so far this week and a couple walks. Leggett lifts it to deep center field. Emily Leggett leads the yard. The ACC's best hitter does it again. 27 home runs.
Duke wanted nothing to do with Emily Leggett's bat early in this ball game, but in this one, they challenge her. They try to get the swing and miss on the rise ball up and out of the zone, but Leggett, she's a tall drink of water. It's going to take a really high rise ball to get it above that barrel. Jennings gave it a good try out there in center, but you're looking at the home run leader in the ACC doing what she does best.
It's what North Carolina hopes is Emily Leggett's first postseason moment for them this year. And what a turn we've seen in the 4th inning.
That is North Carolina's 99th home run on the season, just extending that single season record that they beat when they hit number 93, a record set back in 2015. And with a bat like Leggett getting hot this time of year, you're looking at a team trying to make a big push for the committee to get them in to the postseason.
"7-3 Tar Heels." Leggett's 5th home run in the last 8 games.
I think the thing that makes that so remarkable is she only had 6 career home runs prior to coming into this season. So the way that she's swinging it this year, feeling very confident at the plate.
Brittany McKinney said it yesterday. She said it again today. She has picked the team that is playing for their season because North Carolina just doesn't know what Sunday holds unless they can win this game maybe. And at that point, you'd feel a little more comfortable with your spot.
Yeah, they are writing their history in this moment. They came into the tournament with a 48 RPI. The win over Clemson pushed them to 44. A win over Duke could help them again.
How about this to deep center? And it is gone! Back-to-back home runs for North Carolina. This time it's Shelby Barbie.
The reason that Barbie hits behind Leggett is that reason right there. Back-to-back jacks. Number 15 on the year for Shelby Barbie. That one further gone than the one Leggett hit just a couple of pitches ago. And look at the way that Leggett celebrates the hitter that comes right behind her.
Home run number 100 of the season for North Carolina, and that runs Cassidy Curd from this game. We'll be right back with a pitching change. A monster swing, and Shelby Barbie follows suit. Back-to-back home runs. You see the reaction from Megan Smith-Lyon. They know what that could mean for their season if they can hold on to this 4-run lead. Still a lot of innings to go, though, and we know what this Duke team is capable of. But they are in a great spot.
Look at the junior Barbie, the graduate transfer from Virginia, right now sitting in a good spot with a couple-run lead.
And now Michelle Tarpey, who's 2 for 2 with a pair of singles and RBIs, is the first to face the new pitcher, KK Mathis, a senior from Westchester, Ohio. Mathis just started throwing at the end of March, made her first appearance on March 31st, 1-0 with a 4.04 ERA.
Just 8 2/3 innings coming into today, trying to disrupt some timing. She does not throw a ton of velocity, and because of that, it takes an adjustment at the plate after seeing Curd throwing upwards of 70 miles an hour.
2-0 count from Mathis, just misses.
And also a change back behind the dish as well as Shattuck comes in, replacing Rodriguez.
Shattuck is just confirming where that pitch missed. 3-0 count now to Tarpey. There is strike one. Tarpey thought she was headed to first.
It's all about finding the bottom of the zone, knowing that Mathis likes to keep the ball low. Curve, fastball, changeup. That's about all you're going to see out of the circle.
Good pitch for strike two. This has all happened, Jenny, with 2 outs. There's an infield single by the catcher, Raina Blackwell, and then back-to-back outs recorded before the last 4 have reached or rounded the bases.
Yeah, they didn't reach for long. They did a little trot, came home. It's been a big inning. 5 runs on the board so far in just this inning, and that's the thing that Coach Megan Smith-Lyon talked about in her interview, saying that she wanted to find a way for her hitters to continue to swing big on the zone.
Here's another one. North Carolina now 7 for 10, hitting with 2 outs. It is a double for Tarpey.
Being able to adjust at the plate against a big velocity change like this is so important. And look at the way that Tarpey has set the tone for the new pitcher in the circle. Cassidy Curd throws upwards of 70 miles an hour. When you look at the way that KK Mathis throws, she's only throwing in, topping out at 60 miles an hour. That's about batting practice speed. And that's the way that pitch, or that hit looked by Tarpey. Nice little double, puts herself in scoring position.
First pitch strike to Reagan Jennings. This is the 9th batter to come to the plate for North Carolina. Just missing on that pitch. Duke did it in the 2nd, batting around. And now the Tar Heels have done it here in the 4th. Into left field, and a diving grab by Adeline Matthews to finally stop this offensive explosion. 5 runs for North Carolina. We'll talk to Marissa Young about it when we come back.
Big inning, 5 runs. North Carolina on top.
championship. Duke looking to respond as we go to the bottom of the fourth. We're joined by Duke's head coach, Marissa Young. Coach, long layoff between games, obviously, in a tough spot here, but your team's come from behind so many times. What's the message for them to do it again?
Just continue to stay in the fight, take it one pitch at a time, and continue to trust that we're going to make things happen.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
I mean, we've seen them come back from larger deficits than this, and you see some smiles in that Duke dugout. You see Amina Vega with a smile on her face there. I don't want to say it's a comfortable spot for them, but they certainly aren't going to be fazed by this.
No, and she's right. Stay the course. This is not a dire moment for them. Yes, they do want to win every single game that they're in, but they are secure for a postseason bid. This is one of those moments, though, that they're looking to try to secure a position to host the postseason, and I think that's the bigger impact of this game here today.
Off the handle, and there's a base hit. It is the top of the order here for Duke in the fourth. So if they were going to have a response, this is where you want to be. Deanna Jennings is aboard with her second hit.
Well, and Jennings setting the tone. She was the one out in the outfield trying to chase down those home runs. Big hits out to the outfield. She is ready in her senior season to lead the charge here in this inning and gain back some ground after a really big inning for North Carolina.
Now Amina Vega. There is strike one from the true freshman, Jill Livingood. A lot of experience difference between Livingood and Vega, who is a fourth-year starter at second base. She started over 220 games in 4 seasons. Down the right field line, just foul. Basically a career 400 hitter, just absurdly consistent. You said that was your favorite part about her game, but she's hit over 365 every year.
And has led the team in each of the last 2 seasons, double-digit home runs. She has become a smarter hitter. Her freshman and sophomore season, she felt the pressure. Now the game has slowed down and she is able to execute under pressure.
Her and Deanna Jennings are just kind of fighting for some single-season records in a couple categories for Duke. Vega has 76 hits. Jennings hopped over her with her 2 in this game to get to 77. Seems like every time we get assigned Duke, they have a new hits leader, and it's one of those 2.
I mean, when you're that good, how can you not expect them to just continue to hurdle one another in the record books? It's going to be a battle to the end of the season to see who finally ends up with the record in each of those spots. It's been Amina Vega's consistency that just has impressed me from her freshman season on. She's made great plays defensively. Her entire career has allowed the game to slow down for her defensively. But as she has matured in the box, we've seen her just be so dominant with those doubles and the long ball.
Base hit up the middle. Here come the Blue Devils. Jennings wants 3. The throw is there, but she is safe. That was a great throw from Sanaa Thompson in center field. Vega was also able to take second on that throw.
I don't know that you could have asked Sanaa Thompson for a better throw to third base. Fielded that one so well, and a strike over to third. That's about as close as you can get. Sanaa Thompson has been so good for North Carolina. But when you talk about speed, it's Deanna Jennings. She knew off the bat that she was going 3. There was no hesitation, and with that, she got her feet right, hit the corner of the bag, made a really shallow turn, which allowed her to be more efficient between second and third, and that gave her the time to get in there safely.
They're tied again, 77 hits apiece, as Jessica Oakland takes strike 1.
Well, that may frustrate you, Chucky. I think that's a good problem for Duke to have.
And falls behind 0-2, but a big swing earlier in this one.
It was a double that was able to plate 3 runs. It was a huge pivotal moment for Duke, who at the time sat behind 2-0. A 4-run inning put them on top before that big crooked number at the top of this inning.
Now Oakland has to protect. Slow roller. Jennings trying to distract the shortstop. Safe, and Jennings comes around to score. Now Oakland thought about going to second. Vega's on third, and Duke is just creating chaos.
There are not a lot of players that can advance on a throw to first base on an infield single like Deanna Jennings. And with the bat still in the way, she had to adjust her slide to get around the outside, because had she gone in straight, she would have actually really hurt herself. So by going to the outside part of the plate, not only did it help her get in there safely, but it eliminated the chance of injury.
North Carolina with another visit with their young pitcher, trying to calm things down here. Still nobody out, and now the single season home run queen, Tyrena Jones, is at the plate. She's 1 for 2 in this game. Kind of struggled at the end of the regular season, and by the end, I mean the last 2 games, she was 0 for 7. Her lone hit in that Clemson series was the record-breaking home run. Swings through that late on the first pitch for strike 1. Also has the RBI single season record with 73. This is driven to right center field. That's going to score 2 more. And Jones is trying for 3. It's a 2 RBI triple for Tyrena Jones. Just her second 3-bagger of the year.
I see you, Wheels, coming around hot on the second base turn. I mean, that ball into the right center gap is one of the only spots that you can drive the ball and have a chance to get all the way to third. She came out of the box hot, and with that, gave herself the opportunity to get all the way to third. Plates a bunch more for Duke.
It is a 1-run game as the top 4 hitters for Duke have just absolutely raked in this game. 7 for 10 combined, 6 RBIs and 4 runs scored. Now Layla Lamar in the 5 spot, trying to get in on the action. That is off the glove. Lamar is on, and this game is tied. The throw gets away. Lamar is into second, and just like that, Duke is back.
When the game speeds up, you start making errors after miscues. It's all about how you respond when you make the first bobble, and in that situation, the ground ball to Jennings, as soon as it kicked off the heel of her glove, I think it was important for her to maybe just hold on to that ball, knowing that the run was going to come across. But with that errant throw, it gave Lamar a chance to get into scoring position herself.
There was no panic in Marissa Young's voice when we talked to her between innings. She's seen this before. And we saw them plate 4 in the second. They've done it again here in the 4th. Jill Livingood's day is done. Can't say she didn't perform really well the last 2 days. This has been a frustrating inning for the freshman, but she is a big reason why they are on this field today.
Her performance yesterday in relief was outstanding. Today, the not so good here this inning, and because of that, we're going to go ahead and see that pitching change.
The freshman takes a seat for the junior Carly Maxton, who we'll talk about in just a few minutes. the game in a tough spot here for North Carolina. Nobody out in the inning with Lamar on second base. And 2 2/3 of relief in game 3 against Duke. Gave up just 1 earned run. Needs more of that here.
Definitely does. You're going to see her with a little bit more speed change, and because of that, she'll disrupt some barrels. Low to mid 60s, confidently throws her curveball to both sides of the plate and relies heavily on her drop ball. So that will keep the ball in the park. The speed change will get the miss hit.
The batter is the now Duke pitcher, KK Mathis, who lines it out of play, foul. Mathis 1 for 2 with a single and a fly out. The first to face Maxton. Carly Maxton, she struggled a little bit in these last 4 appearances, 7 2/3 and giving up 19 earned in that span. A good time to get right with potentially your season on the line. Catches the corner, strike 2.
And we've talked about that throughout this game, Chucky, about how this could be the last game. This is a team that sits right on the bubble with their RPI. So sitting at that 44 coming into today, they could be last to get in or first to be bumped.
Winner to the semis against the winner of the late game tonight, Virginia and Virginia Tech, and it is looking like it will be a late game tonight based on the trajectory of this one. Upstairs ball too. This has you written all over it though. You and the RBIs that you had to go ahead and set that record. They're just showing up for Jenny Dalton Hill in the booth.
That was a long time ago, Chucky. Tiare Jennings almost beat it a couple of years ago.
2-2, Mathis into left center field. The hit parade continues. Lamar scores and Duke leads.
The pitching change was made at the exact same spot an inning ago against KK Mathis. They know that at this point in the lineup, it's all about trying to get outs because they don't want to flip the lineup back over to the top. Lamar at second, scores the next one. That's the go-ahead run for Duke.
6 straight hits for the Blue Devils to start the 4th inning. The first 5 have already scored. This is hit into right field, kind of tailing awkwardly, and it's dropped in right. Mathis had to wait for it, so she advances to second to put Shattuck on first.
And the ball tails so much, coming off of a right-hand bat, going to the opposite side of the field. All of that spin makes it really difficult to read at times over there in right field. Tough break for North Carolina.
Duke is 1 batter away from batting around for the 2nd time this game. Trying to paint the line in right, just foul off the bat of Jayla Stafford. Is 0 for 2 tonight, reached on a fielder's choice and scored. That last play will go down as an error on the right fielder, Michelle Tarpey. This is what's at stake tonight. First semifinal appearance since 2019 for North Carolina. For Duke, trying to make it to a 6th straight semifinal. Tell you what else Duke's trying to do. They came into this on a run of 29 wins in their last 33 games. They're trying to make themselves 30-4 in the last 34.
It's all about consistency when you get to the end of the season. How do you respond with your back against the wall? And Duke does not panic. Even after a 5-run 4th, they've now matched that, looking to add a couple of more.
Ground ball. Finally an out in the inning for the Tar Heels.
I think that was the part where you started to feel the air come out of the sails for North Carolina. All of that scoring coming with no chance of getting an out on the board. So that is just the first out this inning, as we now hit 9 batters in this inning.
Maxton misses low to Adeline Matthews, the 9 spot. Deanna Jennings set the tone, not just with the base hit, but aggressive base running. Gave a spark of energy to the Blue Devils. 1-0 to the shortstop. They'll get the lead runner with another run coming across. Goes down as an RBI for Matthews.
Well, in that situation, if you're really trying to turn 2, you need to be more aggressive moving forward as a shortstop so you can deliver the ball to your second baseman a little bit more quickly and get that throw to first to try to keep that additional run off the board.
Back to Deanna Jennings. Jennings' first pitch swinging. It is caught out in left by a falling Lexi Roberts. But Duke responds. They said, I'll see your 5 and I'll raise you 1 for the Blue Devils to lead by 2.
I mean, you saw everything in that inning. Tons of hits, big triple, 6 runs on the board. They've got the 2-run advantage.
Has raised the trophy a couple times back in 2021, then Florida State goes back-to-back in 2022 and 2023. The Blue Devils back at it a couple years ago before last year Clemson starting what was an incredible postseason run for the Tigers from the 2 seed. So Duke would like to make it back-to-back 2 seeds to lift that trophy as we look at the All-State ACC Championship bracket. Florida State, Stanford, the first semi tomorrow. Still one more tonight between Virginia Tech and Virginia. There's the trophy, Jenny.
Can't see it. Don't want to talk about it. It's always fun to be able to see where our producer Todd Koulis finds to put that trophy in the home city of the ACC Softball Championship this year in Charlottesville, Virginia.
He shows the trophy a lot more than he shows us. That was a 45-minute 4th inning.
11 runs scored between the 2 teams, pitching changes, a lot of great offense.
We're looking at a 10 o'clock Eastern start for Virginia Tech if we do that 3 more times.
Well, both of these teams fighting for a chance to play again tomorrow. The winner of our game will face the winner of the next one, Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech offense, one of the best in the country. Swing it top to bottom.
12 players on the Virginia Tech roster with the home run.
(3-2), nice pitch there and a tough count from KK Mathis to the leadoff, Raina Blackwell. She started last inning. Led off with an infield single and scored the first of their 4 runs. How do you get the calmness that Duke plays with from behind? How do you just can't manufacture that? How did they get to this point?
It comes down to playing in those situations multiple times in your career, knowing that the bats that you swing are able to respond to any deficit.
Into center field, Jennings makes the catch. It was a good swing by Blackwell, but 1 out.
I'm sure that one felt good off the bat, but you're also seeing some lower velocity coming out of the circle. So as a hitter, it is your job to supply all of the power, knowing that you were facing more power coming from Curd. Now Mathis throwing a little bit. I used to call it pus coming out of the circle. I mean, just it's not coming with a ton of velo, and because of that, as a swinger, sometimes you rear back and try to swing a little bit harder, but you don't want to change your approach in the box too much.
Old tapper here. Looked like Jones communicated with Mathis on the fly. That's a tremendous play by the third baseman.
And that's what you get when you get some of that senior leadership in the infield, to be able to tell her to get out of the way, because there is no way that a pitcher is going to be able to make that throw. You need someone coming across with a little bit more momentum to put on that throw, and that's exactly what Jones was able to do.
Down to the 9 spot. This is Nicole Knox, another pinch hitter in this spot, true freshman from Ocean, New Jersey. It falls behind 0-2.
Dirty pitch, nice little changeup, dropping in for the strike. That's what you're trying to do, especially against a hitter who has not played here today, coming fresh off the bench.
Right at the shortstop, Oakland, 1-2-3 for KK Mathis and the Blue Devils. Slightly different field in the top of the 4th. Championship. Couple days, that trophy is up for grabs Saturday on ESPN. Who's it going to be? One of these two teams advancing to the semifinals. Beautiful Charlottesville, Virginia. You see the runs here have gotten a little bit crazy these last couple innings. 5 and 6 in the 4th. Duke had another 4 spot in the 2nd. So their 10 runs have come across 2 frames.
They are so good at creating chaos and using their speed to disrupt defenses. Right now, they're swinging with a ton of authority and a great response after a 5-run top of the 4th, putting up 6 of their own to get the lead back.
They saw 10 batters come to the plate last inning. Amina Vega will lead this inning off in the 2 spot.
There's just nowhere in this lineup for you to be able to take a break. As a pitcher facing this Duke lineup, you have to dance around the zone constantly because of the power that they've been producing at the plate.
Vega has reached in 34 straight. She's done it in all but 2 games this year. Has a hit in 23 of the last 24 now. And I think one of the more incredible streaks is she has a 5-game multi-walk streak.
That shows you how dangerous of a hitter she is, because pitchers just don't want to throw to her. She doesn't try to elevate. She does have 16 home runs on the year. It's those doubles that just continue to be racked up by the senior.
You probably can't comment on this, but I would say, despite the fact that Amina Vegas was not drafted, I think there's a good chance if she chooses to play beyond college that you will see her in an AUSL jersey this year out of that reserve athlete pool for injuries or anyone who is absent for any reason. We saw some players have a lot of success out of that pool last year.
Yeah, Sierra Sacco is the first one that comes to mind. Came out of the reserve pool to play for the Talons and then was able to play in the finals. And then Lisa Fernandez, the GM for the Talons, picking up Sacco onto their full-time roster this year. Amina Vega was drafted in the provisional rounds. She will be in the reserve pool for AUSL this summer if she chooses.
3-2 into left field, not going to have quite enough, and caught in foul territory, 1 out. Jenny, I know you're looking forward to this. ACC PM live from the ACC spring meetings Monday and Tuesday at 4 Eastern on ACC Network. You can stay up to date with the latest news, analysis, and interviews from across the conference. And as always, you can stream it on the app. Big news, though, with the NCAA tournament expanding.
Yeah.
On the basketball side.
To be able to see the way that basketball is going to expand that, those are going to be some of those topics talked about in those meetings. I don't know that there's going to be fistfights or anything like that you're going to see in ACC PM, but at the same time, if you want to stay up on those current conversations, that's the perfect way to find it.
Well, will you be there?
At the ACC meetings? No, I won't.
Okay, so no fistfights.
Nope. Yeah, it's true. I'm a hothead.
2-0 to Jessica Oakland.
I mean, it's how we settle the arguments in the booth, right?
Yeah, there's no arguments up here. You're right. Strike 1.
And not to sound redundant, but that's one of the things that makes Duke so good is they do punch back. I mean, honestly, in that situation, it looked as though North Carolina was in complete control of this ball game with the 5-run top of the 4th. And then the response by Duke, amazing.
Oakland is going to bounce this off the wall, and it'll be a double for Jessica Oakland. She popped up her first at bat, and since then has now doubled twice, driven in 4, and added another single.
And that's what you get when you have a player that has to sit out for a season. They get hungry. And then at the beginning of this year, after sitting out because of the transfer rule, actually had an injury and had to miss the first weekend of play. When you talk to Marissa Young about the way Jess Oakland has been able to show up this year, they're excited for the way that she's been swinging it.
Ariel Kruger will run for her. True freshman seeing her first action in the postseason. Talked about Duke's situation earlier in the game, and a great spot from an RPI standpoint to host. Question is, would lifting the trophy on Saturday be enough to get into that top 8? It was a motivator, I think, for this team a couple of years ago in 2024. when they were not in the top 8, and you watched them go to Missouri and beat the Tigers in 3 games to reach their first ever Women's College World Series.
The difference for Duke that season was the 1-2 punch of their pitching staff that year with Jayla Wright and Cassidy Curd. That's the missing element for me right now for Duke, is who is that number 2 that can come in behind Curd and really shut things down and change up the way that offenses are able to attack them. Curd has been so good, but they need a solid number 2 behind her.
Thompson makes the catch in shallow center, 2 outs. Layla Lamar with 2 away. Swinging first pitch. One count to Lamar. Had the 5th of 6 straight hits last inning for the Blue Devils. An RBI single, and she would later score. And jumps ahead 2-1.
Lamar, after having just 17 at-bats last season at Florida, has come over with some really quick success and helped out Marissa Young to be able to relax, knowing that her daughter is performing. It wasn't just a token, come in and we'll find you a spot. Layla Lamar has earned her way into this lineup and has been able to just bring great perspective to both sides, both players and coaches, as she navigates that line handily.
Slow roller right side. This is going to be a tough play, and a nice job by Leggett to get turned around and get to the base. Lamar wants a review. I don't know if Duke's going to do it or not. Marissa Young says, why not? They will review this play.
And it was a quick play over there at first. Leggett got turned around.
Duke is challenging the out call at first base.
I think it's correct on the field. I think Lamar is out in that one. It should be a pretty quick review.
It did look awkward in real time, but Leggett did such a great job getting that right foot to the bag.
The call at first base is confirmed. Out. That's Duke's second challenge.
Duke still leads it by 2, going to the 6th.
runs, 19 batters, 2 home runs, and both of them came off of North Carolina bats. Emily Leggett's 27th of the year, Shelby Barbee 2. But when you look at the way that Duke was able to put up runs and respond, they put up 6 runs in the bottom half of that inning, and it gave them the lead. The way that they were able to respond shows a very mature Duke offense that doesn't panic when they fall behind.
19 batters came to the plate. We saw the 11 combined runs. Saw a little bit of everything in that inning. And then the 5th inning, nothing. Just like that.
Well, when you score that much, you have to take a breath, and that seemed to be what both offenses did in the last inning.
This has to be the inning for North Carolina, you would feel. With the top of their order leading things off, that's just what they needed from Sanaa Thompson.
And she has been able to set the tone on both sides of the ball here tonight. We've seen her very good at the plate, using her speed on the base pass and also tracking down a ton of balls out in the outfield. And then her elite arm has been able to get the ball back into the infield quickly and with precision. Just an all-around player in that leadoff spot for North Carolina.
Thompson took a base earlier in the game. She's 5 for 5 on the season. It's ball 1 from Mathis to Lexi Roberts, who came up clutch in the 4th inning with an RBI single right before Leggett's 2-run home run. The bunt down, Shattuck quick to get it and make the play, 1 out. After the game, stay with us for All ACC, live from the ACC Softball Championship in Charlottesville. Wrap-up coverage continues after every game. It's also available on the ESPN app. Hello, Alex, Brittany, and Taylor. Just to clarify, there was like 2 innings. They weren't even out there.
Wow, are you going to call them out like that?
I am going to call them out here.
You're messed up. It is chilly out there. When you've had to sit out there all day, I'm going to have your back, ladies. Not okay. Yeah, just because you're not going to fight with me in the booth up here, don't take it out on our friends down the line.
They're further away. We don't see them as much, so. And you know what? The mic's not in front of them right now, so it's just kind of how it is.
Well, they're going to have about 30 minutes between games to tell us how they feel.
Leggett walks. So 1st and 2nd now for North Carolina. Here is one of your home run hitters. We did just see Cassidy Curd just a few minutes ago out in the Duke bullpen, staying loose to potentially at some point re-enter this game.
She is the starter, can re-enter. I don't know that they're going to bring Curd back into this one, but there is the potential in the top of the 7th if they feel they need to bring velocity back into the circle to go against what Mathis has been showing here.
That's Cassidy Curd, we promise. It's 19. This is going to be a pitch and change to a different arm, though, for Duke. Not Curd, but Mallory Wheeler, sophomore from Jensen Beach, Florida, who spent her 1st year of college ball at Louisiana. She was their ace last year, led them with 136 innings pitched and won 13 games, so big spot for the sophomore for the Blue Devils. She gets ready. Let's take a look at our All-State ACC Softball Championship bracket. Florida State Stanford 1 Eastern starts semifinal Friday. And then the winner of this one will await the winner of the very late game, Virginia Tech and Virginia, 3 versus 6 Commonwealth clash. Can't ask for much more.
No, both of these games in the nightcap are rivalry games. And you're seeing all these teams kind of fight for the next game, knowing how important it is to create that resume for the committee to give you a chance to get to the postseason.
The 18 runs tonight, tied for the second most combined in a game. It was last year Virginia Tech Clemson in a 19-run game.
Last year, rain played a part of that game. It was a back and forth battle between those two teams. Clemson came out on top, and then the eventual ACC championship winner against Florida State.
So Wheeler steps in, one out, first and second for already a home run hitter today, and Shelby Barbie. Shows bunt, but steps over it and pulls back for ball one.
You look at the way that Wheeler has been throwing this year, drop ball is her go-to, and so they're gonna expect to see this ball down in the zone as they go against the sophomore.
2-0. Is there another twist in the tail of this quarterfinal matchup?
This is just a pitcher that is spin focused, doesn't really rely on velocity, throws in the mid-60s. She is working on making sure that her ball is dancing through the zone, has a mix of speeds to keep hitters off balance, but her attention needs to be on throwing with her spin and not throwing through it by getting too amped up.
3-1 count to Barbie. This count, this moment, what are you looking if you're Barbie?
I'm just looking down in the zone and hunting a side of the plate, knowing that Wheeler doesn't like to elevate. I'm just trying to punch this ball through the infield and let Sanaa Thompson score.
Underneath this, Vega quickly backtracking almost midway out into the outfield to make the catch. That's a big out for Wheeler.
And first step on that one is so important. Vega does a really good job of reading it off the bat, seeing it off the bat, up, and taking that drop step quickly to be able to get so far into the outfield to make that catch.
Michelle Tarpey re-enters to hit. She is 3 for 3. Takes strike one. Couple RBI singles and a double for Tarpey tonight. The average now over 300 on the season. She does have that power with 7 home runs. Popped up and playable. Caught by Stafford. Job done for Mallory Wheeler. Duke gets another chance at the plate in the bottom of the 6th.
ACC Softball Championship is brought to you by Allstate. You're in good hands.
This third quarterfinal of the day moving right along. Everyone hoping to get a piece of the hardware come Saturday afternoon. 10 8. Duke leads it. One more chance for the Blue Devils to add to this lead before needing just 3 outs in the top of the 7th to advance.
What you've seen is no lead is safe in this ball game. You've got to make sure that you continue to put pressure on the defense so that when you come up, the crooked number doesn't hurt you.
Duke has led 4-2 at one point in this game. They've also trailed 8-4. This is popped up, and that is going to get out of play. Nice grab by our cameraman. Let's go. And the crowd recognizing it, too. That's who we brought to the ballpark.
Gotta love, he held his shot. George, the cameraman, out there down the first base line. Big catch, but it's not banana ball, so that is not an out just because it was caught by the fans.
That is his last name, by the way, the cameraman. George, the cameraman.
Yeah, is his middle name.
Yeah. We weren't given all the information. 2-2 count to KK Mathis. Feels like a good portion of this Duke lineup has reached multiple times. Mathis, one of them, with a pair of hits. And making a trio of hits for KK Mathis to start off this 6th inning.
That's just being able to put the ball in play where it's pitched. Outside corner, exploits the 3-4 hole, and gets the inning started in the right way for Duke.
And now Shattuck, she has 2 singles as well in this game, has also reached on an error. Time called in the box. Hard hit ball. Ooh, it bounced up and hit the shortstop Knox, and she is down on the field. Mathis got to 3rd, but there is some real concern here for Knox, who is down.
This ground at Virginia has been playing really hard and fast for the tournament, and with that we've seen a lot of balls kicking off of defenders. Really hoping that this is not devastating for Knox. Just a sharp hit ball, a one-hopper. As she goes to the backhand, it ricochets up and off of what looks to be her face.
Nicole Knox, the freshman from New Jersey. Only played in about 20 games this year, but in somewhat limited opportunities has played well.
Sydney Horton was the starter at shortstop for North Carolina. Can re-enter back to this spot in case Knox is unable to continue.
Trainer for North Carolina was quick to get out of the dugout. Megan Smith-Lyon is going to go ahead and make the change now, while Knox is tended to. While Nicole Knox is checked on, we will step away here in the bottom of the 6th. On her feet, and I think you can almost see her saying, I'm fine, but walked off by the trainer into the dugout. So hoping Nicole Knox is indeed fine. We're all happy to see her walk off the field under her own power, though. New shortstop is going to be Sydney Horton, back in for North Carolina.
Hoping Knox is able to make a full recovery. That was a very scary moment, and this North Carolina team really wanting to make the postseason. They're going to need everybody full go. Hoping that that is just a little bit of a bump and a bruise, and she'll be able to be back at it quick.
Jayla Stafford trying to keep it going here offensively. Duke with back-to-back base hits to start the 6th. Takes strike 2 to fall behind 0-2. Throw to third. Not a bad idea from Blackwell behind the plate.
That's a heads-up play by a catcher, trying to catch a base runner at third, taking a lazy lead. That's right, you call her on that.
North Carolina is challenging the safe call at third base.
This feels a little bit like, why not? Or at this point in the game, this could be a huge out, maybe give you a little momentum back in a really tough spot.
Well, and it eliminates the base runner 60 feet away from home plate. With nobody out, you've got to try to do something right now to shift the momentum back into your favor.
Blackwell kind of caught KK Mathis at the end of that step, too, which made it harder to get back quickly.
Well, and your third baseman was completely ready for that play. Shelby Barbie set up perfectly to be able to receive the ball and make the tag. I think this call might get changed.
Mathis strategically using her left foot to block the view of her right foot, which might save her from getting called out here, but we will find out shortly. I'm joking, of course.
No, not intentional. But just a heads-up play by the catcher, Raina Blackwell, to be able to stay up on that and have the communication down the line with her third baseman to be ready.
The call on field at third base, safe is going to stand. Got one remaining.
And I think Mathis got lucky in that one because she was playing way too loose over there at third base. You've got to be much more aware in your leadoff over there when you're just 60 feet away from trying to score. She did a good job of taking her lead in foul territory. However, that additional step at the end was challenged by the catcher.
Couple big delays in this at bat for Jayla Stafford. Now 1-2, watches it outside. Have to feel like separate at bats for her, of just a pitch here or a couple pitches there. Kind of off the handle, but squeezes it up the middle to score a run.
That just shows you how strong Jayla Stafford is to be able to push that one out. Taking it right back up the middle after getting jammed up, and got enough on it to squeak it past the infield. Scores a run, but Sanaa Thompson, there's nothing she can do except get it back into the pitcher. Mathis scores for the 11th run of the game for Duke.
14th RBI of the season for the freshman Stafford. A run for her with Aaliyah Terrell over at first base, a senior from Greensboro, North Carolina, getting in on the action.
That's something that Marissa Young has talked about when she says, when I have such a deep bench with so many talented athletes, I want to use all of their skills to help us win. And so with that, pull some more speed off of the bench in a first and third situation with nobody out.
27 combined hits and 19 combined runs in this game. Matthews fouls that first pitch straight back.
I don't know about you, Chucky, but whenever a foul ball gets hit, I love watching the reaction back behind the plate. Foul ball, don't worry, there's a net.
Popped up, tough spot, going back. It does fall in front of Sanaa Thompson and just beyond the glove of the shortstop Horton.
Those hits feel terrible off the bat. You get fooled, you're out in front. It's literally right off the end of the bat. Can't come in for the out, but look at the way Sanaa Thompson, just little glove work, flipping it in, trying to get a runner, maybe taking a little bit of a turn at second, but Duke plays it correctly. But and another run across for Duke.
That fourth inning stretch of 6 straight hits for Duke is being challenged a bit here. They have started this inning with 4 consecutive base hits, 3 singles and a double. And that is from 6, 7, 8, 9 in the order. Now is the top of the order with Deanna Jennings. Showing bunt, falls behind 0-2. We did get the most runs combined in a game in the ACC tournament with now 20. And still nobody out in this inning, so might be adding to that.
Yeah, I don't think either of these teams are done. We've still got a lot of softball left to play.
Two. Temperature still dropping here in Charlottesville, and fans are just lining all around Palmer Park, ready for game 2 of this. That bounces up and gets Horton. The runner trying to come around from second, and North Carolina is going to cut down Terrell coming home. Duke doesn't have any challenges here. The umpires could look at this if they choose to.
Because we are in the 6th inning, a challenge can be initiated by the umpire crew here. They will come together and have a conversation to see if it warrants the need to go to the challenge. A hard hit ball, we're seeing those hard bounces off the dirt. Does the tag get applied? Ooh, that's a pretty good look by our cameras. It looks as though she may have gotten around that tag. Now, she doesn't touch the plate there. Does she come back to the plate to touch it? Yes, she does.
See what the umpires decide to do here.
We've got an umpire-initiated review at the plate. The call at the plate is an out.
And so in this situation, we are sitting in the game, 6th inning or later, and a review can be initiated by the umpire crew. So in this situation, they're going to go to this look right here to see if the tag was able to be applied, but you see air and space between the glove and Deanna Jennings coming to the plate. She does crawl back to get it.
The play at the plate has been changed. Safe.
That was a great job by the umpires on this, as well as the review official, Don Brown, to get that right. So still nobody out in the inning.
Well, and that was Terrell, correct? That was not Deanna Jennings. Deanna Jennings was the player at the plate. Terrell coming around to score that run.
Time called by North Carolina. They want to chat things over here with Carly Maxton in the circle. Their chances are shrinking. They have a fantastic offense. But now they are looking at a 5-run deficit and still 2 runners on and nobody out. They are also toward the bottom of their order, 6, 7, 8 coming up, which in this situation, everyone would have to produce anyway.
So it's going to require their bats to really show up as they sit at the bottom of the lineup, starting 6, 7, 8, when they are able to pick up the bats in the top of the 7th.
Here is Vega, who also, by the way, would be the winning run. They could end this in the 6th. Which is hard to believe for all the twists and turns this game has taken. 5 straight have reached for the Blue Devils, 4 hits and 1 on the air. Fouled back by Vega.
And I think in this situation, while Vega could be the game winner, if she is able to come around and score, with no outs right now, it's all about pass the bat mentality. You don't need to win the game in one swing. This is the part of the lineup where you see the most danger coming to the plate. So with Vega up right now, she just needs to get this one through the infield and continue to pass the bat to this really dangerous offense for Duke.
It really is that mentality we saw in the 4th, with 5 of their 6 hits being singles, the other the 2-run triple by Tyrena Jones, and then in this inning, 3 singles and a double. And a professional approach, 1 through 9 for the Blue Devils. 2-2.
When you look at the way the 4th inning started, it started with Deanna Jennings at the top, and they went 6 straight batters with a hit.
That gets away, both runners going to advance.
Blackwell's been so good back behind the plate here tonight. That one crossed her up a little bit and misplayed, allows advancement on the base pass. Now 2 Blue Devils in scoring position.
3-2 to Vega. Base hit for Amina Vega, and that will score 2. She took a big turn at first, but stays put with a 2-run single.
In that situation, your first baseman comes off of coverage of first base with the ball to the outfield to be the cut home. Sanaa Thompson gets the ball back in quickly, but because the first baseman, Leggett, comes off to be in a different coverage pattern, it allows Vega to make a really big turn without any concern about getting doubled off back at first base. 2 more runs across for Duke, and now they sit just one run away from winning this via the run rule.
Maxton exits. For North Carolina, Lily Parrish, the sophomore, will enter. Bottom of the 6th, 1 on, nobody out, and Duke 1 run away from the win. to you by Allstate. Deanna Jennings set the tone.
Big defense in the outfield by a lot of different defenders for Duke. And then who better than George T. Cameraman, George Armangold, with a big catch in foul territory. Nice job, bud.
The bar is set for you, George. Now it's all about making highlight reels every time you're at work. Lily Parrish enters, had a really good start to the season in her first 6 outings, just gave up 2 earned runs in 16 1/3, but struggled a little bit since. 23 earned in the last 11 1/3. Inside, the first pitch to Jessica Oakland.
With Parrish, you're going to see her throw in the low to mid 60s. Fastball has good run on it and comes at a hitter similar to her drop ball. So those look very similar coming out of the hand. Her rise ball is the key to this outing, though. She needs to locate it competitively.
Falls behind 2-0 to Oakland. This is kind of awkward off the bat out into right field, but it's another base hit for the Blue Devils here in the 6th, and Vega is up to second.
And they protect her over at second base. I think earlier in this ballgame, we would have seen a much more aggressive Amina Vega around second base. But with that run being the game winner, they want that speed of Vega to stay on the base pass and get them the win.
8th straight runner to start this 6th inning. Jones, little dribbler back to the pitcher Parrish, and it basically works as a sac bunt. Both runners now in scoring position.
It definitely looked just like a sacrifice bunt to the right side of the infield, but good communication between the converging defenders. Still gets the out at first base, and now 60 feet away from the win.
Layla Lamar can send Duke to the semis, where they will await the winner of Virginia and Virginia Tech. Ball 1 down and away to Lamar. 1 for 4 in the game with an RBI single. Layla's also become a really good defensive right fielder, which is one of the things her mom, Marissa Young, was really proud of about her development. And we kind of asked that question as going back. You've seen her since she was a little kid playing, and she's really happy with the way she's developed in the outfield, because she said she really grew up playing infield most of her life. Swing and a miss, 2-1.
But when you have a bat like Layla Lamar, you need it in the lineup. Earlier in the season, we saw defensive changes at the end of a game to secure wins. Now here at the end of the season, Layla Lamar has etched herself as a very vital part of both the plate and her defensive play in right.
Ahead in the count, 3-1. Tough spot for Lily Parrish. Needs a couple unproductive outs to get out of this. Ground ball back to Parrish. Vega in the base path here in a rundown. Vega is going to get back to third, and the bases are loaded. She just does it all.
She has been one of my favorite players in the ACC since her freshman year. Her defensive play at second base was what really caught my eye early on, but as she has grown into the kind of player she is now, it's the savvy that she has on the base pass to know her distance between home and third and be able to get back safely after that rundown.
Amina Vega, Emily Leggett on this field. Issa Torres, who we saw earlier today, the ACC Player of the Year, some of the nation's best. We'll see Issa again tomorrow morning against Stanford in the first semifinal. hit. Unfortunately, it wasn't at Vega too directly. She ducked. It looked like it might have been off to the side, though.
A little too close to make anybody comfortable. That one was a rocket off the barrel.
Oh, 1 pitch. Mathis into center field. It is tracked down. Vega is sure to wait as long as she can to tag, and Duke wins it in 6. 24 combined runs. The Blue Devils get 16 of them on 19 hits to reach their 6th straight semifinal.
You're looking at a Duke team that doesn't panic with their back against the wall. North Carolina seemed to be in control of this ball game after a really big top of the 4th where they put up 5 runs. The response, though, immediate. 6 runs of their own in the bottom of the 4th, and then walking it off in the bottom of the 6th with another 6-run inning.
Rivalry game number 1 of the night is done. And what was an absolute marathon, just about 14 minutes shy of 3 hours. Duke advances. They've got the 2nd semifinal tomorrow at approximately 3:30 Eastern on ACC Network. Still one more tonight, Virginia Tech and Virginia. And look out, the fans are absolutely everywhere, and the teams are on the field getting ready for first pitch, which should be in about 30 to 35 minutes or so. They'll keep you updated on all ACC. Well, for my partner Jenny Dalton-Hill, I'm Chucky Kemp. Thank you to our great crew. We will be back in about a half hour, but let's get it out to Taylor Tannenbaum, Brittany McKinney, and Alex Powers for all ACC. Nowhere to hide from the elements right now.